what's happened in the last video.
I could just bring my desktop in with a Ziploc bag and just, put it in the bathtub and play it. That's what I'm gonna do. In a darkness bath. It'd be amazing.
And here is more MrDudeManSir.
Naomi. Housewife 1. And you know what my kid told me? He said that the incident was connected with an underground website that's gotten real popular at this school. Oh, I think I heard about that on the news a while back. Profiles being used for bullying, and undefined dates. Is that kind of stuff still going on? Well, the news has stopped covering it, but it's still happening, from what I hear. I wonder if my kid goes to any websites like that. Maybe I should talk with him about it. Are they talking about the website that brought everyone the heavenly host? Is it like all exposed now? It was late afternoon, right around the time students were returning home from school, and here I was again. Standing right in front of the intercom at the door to Seiko's house. I've been here for over an hour again, now, standing and staring, wondering whether to push that button. I must have looked very suspicious, especially since I'd been here yesterday, and the day before too, and each time I wound up just going home. But the day would be different. That's what I told myself. Today I'd actually push the intercom button. I was ready to face my demons. Okay. Hey, ha 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 ha, yeah, ha ha ha. Hey, you. Who is you? Hey, you two can't just run off like that. That was you, Seiko's younger brother. Alright, line up. Make sure you have all your shoes on tight. There we go. Hey, straighten that hat. Very good. I think we're ready now. Take my hands, please. Now you think you can behave on the market? Okay, Aya? Aya? Is that better? Is that a name? Because that reminds me from a game I played earlier. Mad Father. Uh-huh. Oh, you better betcha. That's what I like to hear. I made sure I hid out of the sight while they were leaving the house. You and those other two kids were definitely Seiko's younger siblings. They were the reason I'd come. They were the ones I wanted to see. I had no idea what I'd say to them, but I knew for sure that Seiko existed, so I had to say something. Freaking... oh my gosh. Memories. Maybe I'd show them the cell phone picture, and tell them, hey, this is your sister, and ask if they remembered anything about her. I'll be okay. I just need to explain myself. They understand. They had to. I made up my mind. Now was the perfect chance. I stepped out from my hiding place. Hey. I barely made out a single word before I felt someone grab my arm from behind, holding me back. Who's there? Oh my gosh. Don't do this. Don't do it. Class rep. I understand where you're coming from, but you can't do this. Our class rep Shinozaki was shaking her head at me. She was determined to stop me from confronting Seiko's family. My vision was starting to blur. What do you plan to say to them? You know how it's going to turn out. But... I couldn't hold back my tears any longer. I squatted on the ground and looked up at the class rep, who was staring back at me with equally glassy eyes. There, we only have a handful of people in the world who could truly understand what I was going through. Only those of us who returned from Heavenly Host Elementary School alive. Only Shinozaki, Satoshi, Kishinuma, and Yuka. Marishi didn't live? Oh my. Wait a second. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Holy crap, how many people went in? 9. Well, I guess I should know this from the first game, but still, it's terrible. Ah man, that's the bad point of Mauricio going on alone. He didn't know when to leave. As for those who lost their lives there, Seiko, Suzumoto, Morishige, and Miss Shishido, they came back to find that their very existence was wiped clean from this world entirely. Nakashima, hey. I was walking home, defeated and dejected, with the class rep at my side when she suddenly addressed me. It sounded like she wanted to tell me something. I've been doing research these last couple of weeks. At the library, looking up information about the Shinozaki estate. That's the house where Yoshi and Sachiko Shinozaki lived. The place that the beings in control of heavenly hosts once called home. You might recall that the newspaper articles we found were a kidnapping and murder incident gave precious little information about Sachiko. And aside from local papers, nobody even bothered digging the news around about Yoshi's death at all. Digging up this information was no small feat. She was looking down at her feet and kept steady, quiet tone the whole time she was talking. It seemed like this was all leading up to something. But she was kind of an expert when it came to ghosts and the occult and such, so I trusted her. I wanted to know where she was going with this. It seems Yoshi Shinozaki's former home is here, in the prefecture. It's in the outskirts by the mountains. Her home? Like Yoshi's and Sachiko's? Yeah, right in our backyard. Oh my gosh. It's that close? Yeah, Heavenly Hills once stood where Kisaragi is now, after all. And since Yoshi Shinozaki worked there, it makes sense her home wouldn't be too terribly far away. Naho mentioned it in her notes too, remember? That's where she solved the original Sachiko proxy for the ritual. So yeah, seems like a good place for us to find something, don't you think? The origin of the Shinozaki's family curse rests within those walls, and I believe there must be some clue there that there might be some shed light on it. She had my full attention now. I swallowed hard, as if taking it all in. I got an address, too. If we take the train, we could be there in less than an hour. So what do you say, Nakashima? Let's go check it out, right now. Look at the sad, quiet face all over again. The Shinozaki estate. I was haunted by memories of Heavenly Host. This would entail visiting the source of it all, where the danger would be far greater. Yes, somehow. Lead on, class rep. It was right around 4:30 in the afternoon. The day was already cooling into night, and the sun would surely be setting shortly after we arrived at our destination. But neither of us really cared. I just wanted to be there, as soon as humanly possible. If there were even the slightest chance of finding answers, I'd welcome it. The two of us went right into the station and hopped over on to the very next train we could to find our countryside, grasping the straws for all we had, for all we were worth. I began to wish I'd gone back to change clothes before we left. But if I'd done that, I'd have to explain to Mom where I was going, and I sincerely doubt she would ever amend to the idea. I could have always just gone away, of course. But then I'd be directly disobeying my mother and undoubtedly making her worry sick about me. The class rep and I seated next to each other on the local commuter train that I'd never ridden before. There were only two other passengers. Much like us, they were simply staring down at the ground and riding in silence, lost in their own thoughts. These last couple of weeks had been brutal. All five of us who survived were feeling it. We were more exhausted than we'd ever been in our entire lives. But no matter how crazy people said we were, no matter how much our souls ached from the memories, we could never forget Seiko and the others. Every photo we had of them, though, be it on our film or digital, had its face blacked out completely. And the scariest, saddest thing I could imagine was the passage of time, because eventually, I knew I'd have trouble remembering what they looked like. It'd be terrible. Listen. I want to run something by you. We're the only ones who have any memory of Mr. Yui Suzumoto Shinohara Morishige, right? Because if you die in Heavenly Host, it's as if you had never existed in the first place. You're erased from the collective memory of everyone in the real world. Why was she bringing this up? I just looked down by my knees, trying to unsuccessfully fight back the tears that were welling up in my eyes yet again. Well, have a look at this. Nose. Knowledge to the netherworld. It's just that spirit medium girl's blog, right? Doesn't anything seem odd about it to you? The blog's final entry was the one detailing the Tachiko ever after ritual, but we already knew that. There were no updates after it because... Wait, didn't Naho die? Right. The class rep nodded and looked back into my eyes. Naho lost her life in Heavenly Hills Elementary School, just like everyone else. But, how can that be? I'm not sure of the reason, but this is proof positive. Proof that not everyone who dies in the school gets erased from existence. I checked on our mentor, Mr. Kabiki too. He also died in Heavenly Hosts, but like Naho, there's still an ample record of his existence. I was literally on edge of my seat, leaning in close and hanging on every word. She flashed me a smile. So let's not give up hope, okay? Okay. I was crying hard now, but for the first time since we come back, I could see the tiniest, faintest glimmer of hope in the darkness. It wasn't much to go on, but it was easily the best news I've heard in 2 weeks. It made me feel like a lot better about this impromptu trip. Even as this one vague clue improved our chances of finding something at Shinozaki Estate significantly. At least now we knew that to look for. Now arriving at Kishi Station. Guess we're here then. Man, we're really out in the boonies, aren't we? The air smells so delicious. It's nice, isn't it? And we're fortunate to get here while there's still some light left. We should find the estate before it gets dark. Yeah. This was the end of the line. A desolate farming community, with nothing but farmhouses and fields as far as the eye could see. There's only one main road, and due to the mountainside setting of this picturesque village, it maintained a gradual upward slope the whole way. Not a lot of people around. Yeah. In here I was kind of hoping I could meet with one of the locals and ask some questions. Evidently, the Shinozaki family had a lot of clout here once, and were held in high esteem. Really? Since you're a Shinozaki too? Ooh, this finally get to reveal that she is actually a Shinozaki. Gosh darn, just explain. I wonder if you have some distant ancestry in common with them or something. I guess it's possible. But there are an awful lot of Shinozakis in Japan, you know. That's true. So, are we going the right way? I think it's this way, yeah. But to be honest, the address I found didn't have a number, so I'm not entirely sure. Oh. What about your cell phone? Doesn't it have that GPS thing? Can't we use that to figure out where we're going? I already tried, but it looks like there's no map data on the file for this area, which is actually very strange. If you say so. The road was paved the whole way, but it was full of cracks and holes resulting in countless tiny pebbles and patches in the sand, crunching under our feet. The darker it got, the more noticeable the sound of the uneven terrain became. There was something unsettling about the idea of two schoolgirls in uniform walking through the strange, largely deserted village at the cusp of midnight. Hey, I really think we should stop and ask someone for directions. How about we pay that house a visit? She was pointing at one of the isolated farmhouses directly in front of us. Sounds good. It's getting real dark after all. Let's pick up the pace. Excuse me. Hello? Maybe they're not home. Let's try someplace else. Okay. Eek! Yeah. That scared the crap out of me. What was that? Yeah, I don't like this. Let's get away from here. I know it's a little unsettling, but if we don't get some information, we'll never find the place. So, come on. Let's try asking that one. This time she was pointing to a slightly more inviting-looking residence nearby, sporting a blue roof. Hello? Hello, is anyone home? Yes? Good evening, miss. We're a bit lost, and we would be very grateful if you could help us find our way. I could see the figure of a middle-aged woman through the frosted glass door. I wasn't sure if it was going to actually open it for us, given that we were strangers and she was, by all appearances, a woman alone in an isolated house. What's all this, then? Good evening. I'm sorry to bother you so late. We've come all the way from Fujisawa, and we're trying to find a certain residence. Oh my, what a cute little visitors. And coming all this way for a sun going down, no less. Thank goodness. She seemed like a perfectly normal, perfectly kind old woman. I took my place next to the class rep and bowed my head in respect. So where is it you're trying to go, then? I'm trying to reach this address, but I don't have the house number. This is all I know. Let's see. What business do you have at the Shinozaki estate? Actually, we're investigating something, right? Oh, yeah, that's right. It's, for a school assignment. The old lady's demeanor changed in an instant. She made herself as large as she could and began pushing us out of her house. Miss, is something wrong? Get out. Go on. Get out here. What? What was that all about? Just seeing the word Shinozaki Estate seemed to send her off the deep end. This could be a problem. The day was fading fast. The sky was still blue for now, but it was getting darker by the minute. The streetlights are popping all around us. Let's try to find another house. There must be someone around here who will let us what we need to know. Will tell us what we need to know. Yeah, you'd think. That old lady is standing over there, right? Inside the door? Oh God, you're right. Why? Is she still watching us? Let's go, okay? This is getting really creepy. She seemed like such a kind old woman, too, when she first entered the door, but now she just felt menacing. The sudden change was almost staggering. 6:30, huh? Yeah. We walked for quite a while after that. The fields and trees were becoming more plentiful. Wild houses are becoming much more rare sight. The road's incline had gotten a lot steeper still. We were literally climbing a mountain now, and the likelihood of finding the house we sought, or any house at all, seemed to be lessening with every step. Car coming. Watch out, Nakashima. Thanks. We pushed ourselves against the guardrail and waited for the car approaching from behind to pass by before we continued our trek. Hey, what are a couple of girls doing in a place like this? It's dangerous to be walking on the road, you know. The mini pickup pulled alongside us, and an older gentleman stuck his head out the window. He seemed like a sociable sport. We're actually looking for the Shinozaki residence, if you have any idea where that is. Shinozaki? Yeah, the old Shinozaki estate. It's up that way, deep in the mountains. Just up ahead? Yep. Well, that's good. We've been going right way after all. Yeah, but it's a ways in there. If you is walking, it's gonna take you a good long while. Don't know what business you got in a place like that. But hop in if you want, I'll take you up. The class rep and I looked at another square in the eyes. It seemed a little shady, but it was getting pretty late, and as they say, beggars can't be choosers. We wouldn't get another opportunity like this. So, we thanked the old man and got in his truck. That guy doesn't look old. He looks like in his 30s or 40s. Heh. Truck's supposed to be that 3-seater, but it's kinda crowded. Sorry about that. That's quite alright. We're very grateful. If we kept on walking, it would have been a nighttime before we knew it. Well, I sure ain't gotten a lot of business up in these old Shinozaki State on the mountain these days. Why are you two looking to go up there anyhow? Well, I'm not really sure how to put it. Let's just say there's some information we're trying to find. Information? About a nurse who used to live there a long time ago. A woman named Yoshi Shinozaki. Yeah, back in the day it used to be the home one clinic. It did. Lots of people went up there all the time. But no one else go near it anymore. Don't know what kind of shape it'll be in. We just kept driving further up the mountain path. And the higher we got, the rougher the ride became. Road maintenance is clearly not a priority here. With 4 tires and 4 different elevations at any given point in time, the whole truck was being rocked to its core. Ow. Are you okay? Yeah, I'm fine. I'm just glad I'm wearing my seatbelt. This is quite the road, isn't it, mister? The woman's driving was starting to frighten me. I could see Ayumi's head bouncing up and down, and it honestly felt like we were in a runway vehicle. Mister? Aren't you going a little fast? Ah! My heart was beating a mile a minute. That was a person on the road, wasn't it? The class rep and I had both gone pale. We looked over at the old man. It's okay, whatever it was, I didn't hit it. What? Believe me, you hit a person or an animal on the road, it becomes bigger noise than that. The old man seemed to have gone a little weird now as well. It's much like the old woman in town. He started off so kind and helpful. Who was that? In the road? I don't know. Hey, ain't no line. Can't go no further in the car. You gotta hoof it. You go or you want me to drive you back? Thank you very much, sir. I'll be waiting here for you. You just come back when you're done. I can rightly leave 2 little girls out here by themselves after all. Thank you for your consideration. Class rep, you okay? That was scary. There was definitely something strange about him. But he did say I'll wait for us, so I think he's a good person where it counts. Yeah, I guess you're right. The sun was setting rapidly and evenly. Was in the full stride. The evening was in full stride. At the top of this uncompromisingly steep road, the Yoshi Shinozaki's home clinging. That is sad. That place. It did. Oh look, the plateau's up ahead. Is that the place? Finally made it. Is this? There's nothing here. This had to be the place. The site of Shinozaki Estate. But there was no house here anymore. The building was torn down. It was just an empty lot. After all, we came all this way too. Wait, hold up. Look over there. Is that a barn? You're right. I wonder why this is spared. If the state wasn't. It was a small barn on the edge of a property. And remarkably, when I flipped the light switch, the lights actually came on. It still had electricity. Is this possible? Yeah, it's kind of giving me the creeps. Despite our misgivings, we'd gone far outside the comfort zone to get in here. So we went out about searching the mysterious barn for any answers. Oh, I actually get a search. Holy crap. What do I get? Okay, I get to search that stuff. It seems like that's it. Huh. There's like 4 things here. There's a mess of old cardboard boxes here, along with rusted toolbox and any other number of odds and ends. Doesn't seem to be anything particularly useful in, or on, or along any of them, however. Hey look! This box has Shinozaki 1 written on it. You're right. I guess that means this really was Yoshi Shinozaki's house at some point. Yep, it does. Okay, so I examine this little rug or barrel now. It's a large drum that seems to have once been used for burning waste products. Nothing but soot and ash inside. I wonder what was burned in here. Don't know. Looks like a plain old ash to me, but it could have been anything. I'm trying to put stuff together as I'm going on. Let's see. Sack. It's a hemp sack that's filled with the brim with some kind of grain. Probably feed for farm animals. Guess he had chickens or something here. Yeah. Wait a second. Maybe no? I don't have an idea yet. Not yet anyways. It's an old worn out blanket that someone seems to have left here. Somebody from the outside must have sought shelter in here at some point. Oh yeah, maybe. Oh yeah, maybe. I guess it's just getting out of the wind. It's kind of rough enough. Isn't always enough. Amber. It's starting to get kind of cold in here with the sun down. Yeah. We spent another half hour or so rifting through the barn from the ceiling floor to the ceiling, looking for anything we could possibly find that might help us. I don't see a single thing in here that sheds any light on Yoshi or Sachiko Shinozaki at all. It's full on light outside too, and they kept that poor old man waiting for long enough. It seemed like a waste to leave here empty-handed, but we've done all we could, for today at least. It was time to start heading home. Can't believe that's all that's left in the barn. Yeah. Man. We should come back tomorrow a little earlier. I'd like to try talking to more of the locals. Sounds like a plan. It felt like the sun had been setting forever, but now it was nowhere in sight. The wooded mountains all around us were cloaked in a veil of darkness. There weren't any lights to help to guide in our path either, so we really couldn't see where we're going. Man, it's dark. Was this the way we came? We need to find our way back to the road. I think that's it though, since I remember just walking straight forward to the barn. Oh, class rep, look! Nestled among the branches just beyond the small group of trees, the inside lights of a tiny truck shone like a beacon in the light. It's the old man's truck! Yeah, it has to be. Thank goodness. I didn't much like the idea of getting stranded in the woods. There was something oddly fulfilling about getting out and actually doing something. Success or no, it felt so much more fruitful than moping around at home. I didn't care if this was the fool's errand. As long as I just kept looking, day after day, I felt like I could move on. It wasn't hope, it was purpose. Seigo taught me that. Sorry to keep you waiting. Huh. Wait, where's the old man? Maybe we were going too long for him. I mean, gone too long for him. I mean, it is cold, but maybe you had to, you know. She began scratching her head and blushing a bit, clearly embarrassed at the suggestion. Oh, yeah, maybe. Well, he left the engine running, so we should be back soon. I'll just wait for him. It's so chilly out here, though. My stomach's freezing. I'm sure you wouldn't mind if we waited inside the truck, right? That's true. Okay then. Glass reps first. Huh? No good, it's locked. Well, that sucks. Guess we don't have much choice. Let's just wait out here. Brr. It's so cold outside. What time is it anyway? 8:17. About the right time for a cold night air, really. The old man's not coming back, is he? So what do we do? It was so dark we couldn't even see the road, and climbing all the way back down would require far more of a hike than we were prepared for. Ooh. I actually haven't saved this entire time. It's probably nice to actually do so. So, I'm going safe. Safe at the bottom. There we go. Oh my gosh. Oh, what would I do? Right there. Blood drive. It doesn't look cool, because I earned it. Okay. Start walking while I think of something else. I'd say start walking away. Because I can try walking home, but this guy's not gonna show up. Do you think we can make it back on foot? I mean, we were up in the truck for a long time on the drive up here. That's true. But it's not like we can just stand around forever. I guess you're right. Okay. I feel bad leaving the old man behind. But let's just write him a note and start heading back. Sure. I have my notebook with me. I'll thank him and let him know we went on ahead. Okay. If we put it under the windshield wiper, he'll probably be able to see it when he comes back. And so we began the long walk back down the mountainside, quickly losing sight of the truck alongside the dense foliage. There were no street lights, so our visibility was pretty much non-existent. It was extremely treacherous. If we weren't careful, we could have easily found ourselves stepping off the road in a section with no guardrails and sliding down the mountainside. It didn't help that the road itself kept winding back and forth, causing us to lose all sense of direction and wonder if we were going in circles. Class rep, you okay? Yeah. This really won't be an easy walk, really. No, it won't. What do you want to do? Should we go back? To the truck, you mean? But we've already been walking for a half hour. What if we go back and he's not even there anymore? That's true. Guess our best bet really is to just persevere. Hey look, there's another car. I can see its lights. Wow. Someone else came all the way up here too. Lucky for us. I hope they'll be willing to give us a ride. Let's go check it out. That better not be the same truck. No. It can't be. Isn't this the old man's truck? How? How is that possible? It's just one road. We were heading downhill the whole time. But that's the note I left. This really is this truck. God, what's going on? I felt like they were being tricked by a fox spirit or something. And I was fairly confident that there weren't any other forks in the road the entire time we were walking, so I honestly couldn't explain what happened. It somehow got even darker, and the faint sounds of the bugs slipping through the ground giving the whole countryside a general feeling of eerie malaise. Okay, I think that if I just keep driving, it'll just bring me in circles. I need to think of something else. It's kind of like the whole locker room situation all over again. Something else? This mountain just feels kind of off. Well, my cell phone's out of range, so that certainly won't be any help. Dang smartphones. Same here, which means we're completely cut off from the outside world. I guess our only choice is Nakashima. What do you think about returning to that barn? I mean, it's got light at least. Why the barn? Well, if we can't get back down the mountain tonight, we should at least take shelter and rest till morning, don't you think? Just seems safer than staying here. So are we going to spend the night? I shuddered at the thought of spending the whole night on this cold, dark mountain. But she was right, we really didn't have much of a choice. I agreed with her that this was the only real course of action that made sense, but safer than staying here? Yeah, I just get a bad feeling from this road. Or from this whole mountain, really. It's like there's some sort of presence. Their best bet for dealing with it is to go someplace well lit and get out of the elements. You feel a presence? Is it something we should be afraid of? I don't know. I'm not even sure if it's a person or something else. And it could be the presence of many. All I can really say is that we're being watched. Okay, now let's hurry up and get back to that barn. Finding ourselves left with no other choice, we put the road behind us and began walking up the dirt path leading back to the Shinozaki family's barn. However, was the barn this far off from the road before? This is weird. It's really weird. It's like the road leading to it just up and vanished. Does this mean we're... Wait, don't wander off. Sorry. Come on, let's try retracing our steps. We'll just turn around and go back the way we came. Sounds good to me. We're going the right way, aren't we? Shouldn't we be seeing the road soon? Where are we? Oh god, no. We're lost. Lost in the middle of a dang forest. What? Yes, we were definitely lost. There are literally nothing but coniferous trees as far as the eye could see, in every direction. Dark, looming trees. Their tall, thin forms were casting a web of shadows all along the mountainside, obscuring our vision of anything at all outside the immediate surroundings. Don't you have the compass on your phone? Yeah, but it won't work. It uses GPS. Oh, it does? Why can't this stupid thing get any location data? God, what is it? What is it with this thing craps out when I need it the most? Lies and I'm not even gonna try saying how you're supposed to say that. Did you just hear a voice? I couldn't make out what I was saying, but yeah, that sounded like a person. Maybe it was just the wind in the trees, though. At any rate, we need to find our way off this mountain. Do you have any ideas? I mean, we shouldn't just wander aimlessly. That's true. If we got lost in the mountains, they say you should never head toward low ground. I didn't know that. The best course of action is probably just to stay in place and wait for daybreak. But it's cold and we have no tent. Maybe if we huddle together. Ooh. Yuri. That's fine. But I'm good to walk at least a little longer. So how about we keep at it for a bit? If you get near enough to the road, we might be able to see the truck. Okay. I sort of walked right by those trees already. But there's no way we could be walking in circles, is there? Everything looked the same up to here. No matter where we went. We both began wondering if we were making any progress at all. What is it? Over there, I heard something. Oh, where? Where was it? Yeah. What's next? What was that? We kept clinging to the faint hope that we might soon emerge from these endless woods. But all that got us was good 2 hours worth of slogging. The rough terrain was killing our legs and our stamina had been worn down to the bone. I can't move anymore. Glass Rat plopped herself down onto a bed of dry leaves on the ground, just as she did. Whoa, Glass Rat, look! Beyond the silhouette of the many conifers in the edge of the vision, a faint light could be seen. We're saved! Thank you, Nakashima. Thank you for noticing that. No problem. Let's go. We're both dead tired, and our legs hurt like that. But we forgot all of that at our sight of possible salvation, and just took off running. As it happens, the barn we've been looking for all this time was a source of light. Those naked light bulbs shone like beacons in the night sky. Thank God. Oh, it's the barn. I thought it was going to be the old man's truck. Yeah, me too. But this is even better. The barn's what we're looking for, after all. But I don't remember leaving the lights on when we left, do you? We should have shut them off, yeah. But it's certainly possible we didn't. Well, if we're the ones who left them on, then we should just save our own butts. So I guess I should thank goodness for our small favors. All we had to do was push through the undergrowth as tall as we were, and then we'd be there. Seems we'd somehow circled around to the back of the lawn. We made it. Let's go inside, shall we? Sure, man. Just having the light makes all the difference in the world, doesn't it? My phone's clock was showing past 10:40. I started thinking about home, and about how much Mom must be worrying by now. Feeling a bit sad, and I hesitated at the barn door, when all of a sudden... Ah! The class rep let out a nearly voiceless cry of absolute shock. She was staring into the darkness just past the building and shuddering in terror. What's wrong? Nakashima, look. Right next to the barn. Huh? What I saw there was something that couldn't be. Something far beyond my imagination could comprehend alike. That's... What? How can that... There, where Shinozaki Estate once stood. It was nothing more than an abandoned lot only a few hours earlier. An old, humble residence now rose above us. It seemed almost to be floating in the air. But it was very clearly an actual corporal building. The two of us stood there, staring at it for several minutes, completely dumbfounded. Why? It wasn't there this evening, was it? It wasn't. It definitely wasn't. But... So why is it here now? How should I know? I had goosebumps all over my body, and a cold sweat had begun tracing lines down my back. Is it just me, or is it glowing? Oh, wait, skipped it. Aside from its more ethereal qualities, it was just an old, beat-up two-story farmhouse, but sure enough, a nameplate on the door read Shinozaki. This was, without a doubt, the house where Yoshi and Sachiko Shinozaki once lived. Oh god, you're hyperventilating. Are you alright? The class rep raised a hand to stop me from intervening. I'm okay, but thank you. I have to keep my mouth closed and it'll pass. Hey, Nakashima. I think now's our chance. What? We came here to learn the secrets of Shinozaki Estate. And well, here we are. It's inviting us in. It's daring us to look around. You mean, go in there? I know, it's really scary. But we can't turn back now. Gazing at the imposing structure, she took a deep breath. Then after collecting herself, she walked right up to the front door and tried sliding it open. It gave no resistance at all. Let's go. Wait. No good. The Phantom Estate house was no power, it seemed. The barn still was working lights, but not the main house? Fortunately, there were a flashlight on a nearby table. The class rep picked it up and switched it on, illuminating the wall across from the entrance. Not that there were much to see. The entranceway itself was extremely small, breaking off to the right and a solid wooden door just steps in. A quick pan to the left then revealed a steep, hardwood staircase leading up, and that was pretty much the entire room. Be careful. The energy in here is strong. She's not completely pale. I could tell just by looking at her that she'd sensed something. Her eyes shone with a mixture of terror and determination. It's much darker than Heavenly Host. The energy in this house is jet black. Really? Don't let your guard down. Not for a second. Thinking back, our first steps into this house were basically the start of it all. It was at that point that we'd left the world of the ordinary far behind. Simply being able to see these walls, these floors, these ceilings with our naked eyes, directly defied the laws of nature. The house itself was a ghost. Literally anything could happen in here. I knew that, and was going to do everything I could to brace myself for the trials ahead. But the fear was still there, and the shaking wouldn't stop. I don't really know how to explain it, but there's something like a little wave of emotion turmoil cutting right through the air here. It's pretty deeply ingrained too. I wonder what happened before this place was torn down. Well, I'm gonna save. I'm gonna save right meow. I'm gonna actually do this and go down here and save it there. This has actually been really good. Oh my gosh. Holy crap. Wow. This is a map of stuff. I'll leave this for next time, as I have to go now. So, I had a lot of fun. It was really good. I enjoyed these last few bunch of episodes, were the best episodes of the entire series in my opinion. I really enjoyed them. And I actually didn't think I'd be able to play this chapter just yet until I beat all the 10 chapters. But apparently since I have the first game, it's all good and stuff. So it's all good, as I just said. So thank you for watching this, and goodbye.